Okay, all right. So me and Z were looking over this flyer that you had sent us, a proposal with some of the stuff that we're looking at to do for that 1,250. Um, we've written down some questions here. There'll probably be more questions. We just want to make sure we know what the deal is, and what's the if there's going to be any additional cost to that 1,250. We know what those are. All right. So, excuse me. First slide here is website. I'm not sure if you're going to create a different website or if you're going to use the one that we already created. That one is set up for both the real estate brokerage and the vacation rentals. You had that one landing page that was for the vacation rentals. So I'm not sure if this is new, if this is not new, if we're going to use old what we did last year to filter people through or do whatever it is that we're doing. So that first slide, let me know if we're creating something new or not creating something new, because then they're going to be hosting things that we have to worry about and all that. All right, I'm going to just basically go through these slides and read and ask questions as I'm reading. Marketing. I'm not going to read the paragraph because obviously you know what's in there. The more important stuff is the SEO keyword rankings. I assume that you will be keeping an eye on the SEO wherever that may be on the Mellow Properties webpage. And then maybe if you're using that as the focal point, we're not, I obviously we don't do this kind of stuff. So I'm trying to figure out, I kind of have to put myself in your shoes and what it is that you're doing to understand what you're doing and um, what we're doing through that. So SEO keyword rankings through a website. Keep an eye on who's going where and set it up so that when people search certain things, part of the whole reason for the SEO, that they're going to our website, assuming that is part of the 1,250, and that you'll be controlling, keeping an eye on that. Social media marketing. I think there's a slide down below that expands on that. There'll be questions on that. Paid advertising, is that an additional fee? Is that included in the 1,250? If there is paid advertising on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on X, or wherever else, how frequently will we be doing that? Excuse me. Um, is it included in that price? Is it not included in that price? Hopefully, the goal is always going to be, if we reach out to somebody, we give them the ability to be able to funnel down to that landing page so that they can put their credit card in and book something. I don't think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, there's ever going to be a scenario where we reach out to people where we don't want them to be able to book for whatever period of time. All right, so podcasts. I'm up for everything and anything. How do we do that? When do we do that? Is that included? What's that look like? Email campaigns. I've got Mailchimp up on the screen on the background here. I'm going to flip over to that to show you a little bit of what we've got there. We'll be giving you access, I think, to all of this stuff: the Facebook, the LinkedIn, the Instagram, the X, Pinterest, Mailchimp, so that you can go through there, filter through it more than what this video can show you, so that you can kind of digest what we've got and where we've gone wrong or what we can do better, so that you can help us with that. So now that we're on email campaigns, let me switch over to, if I can find it, this and then MailChimp. So as part of Hospitable, we have those automatic messages that are dynamic, I'm going to call it. And the dynamic messages will change the person's name, will change the address, and things like that that make it specific to this person. Um, in Once they leave, we send, as long as they haven't done a review, we send them two of these 5-star review guests messages. It's in general, goes to all the other properties. I send one 2 days after they leave, and I send one 10 days after they leave. In the body of this, it basically says we advertise our direct booking to our 5-star customers. And because we already know them, that's the reason why we send them the direct booking website. We're trying to make it so that they feel as if they're getting something special or different. In the by the way that we get them on that direct booking website is if they, by emailing us back your email response back to this thread, we will be able to send you the access link to directly access the website. Because this is a direct, we will be able to save you 3% of the usual Airbnb tech fees. It really isn't 3%, it's actually more like 13%. The 3% is what Airbnb charges us. They charge the guest 13%. So they're actually saving a lot more than the 3%. Um, I've got to review what Hospitable charges, because they charge not 13% like Airbnb does. They charge something smaller than that. So before I mess with this 3% and make it, we're saving you 5% and we're saving you 10%, I have to make sure that we know what that is. But I've set this up so that when they go look at the direct booking and they compare side by side Airbnb and the direct booking, that they're going to see a noticeable difference on the direct booking and then continue to want to go that way. We do tell people, listen, if the direct thing doesn't work for you and you want to stick to Airbnb, perfectly fine. Just know that there's going to be tech fees involved in there, and Airbnb needs to get paid for what they're doing. So hopefully, when they see either the 2 day after or the 10 day after, um, they read this and then they put their email in there. As soon as they do that, this is tied. Hospitable is tied to MailChimp. So that email automatically goes into MailChimp. And from there, with these campaigns, I think I want to show you this one first. I've set it up, and it's not easy with these folks because this is a free version, and you can make it work with the free version. But obviously, the paid version of this, the upgraded version, there's less work to do that, to be playing games and tweaking things. So this is the first email that they get. When they open this, it automatically sets it up so that they get this one, how many days later, and then they get this one, how many days later, then they got that one, how many days later. And you can kind of see the results of those campaigns. And it's a running or a dynamic or a living campaign where, as people start to put their emails in there and it adds them to the list, these things are going to change. I'm not sure if that happens in every case, but that's the way this thing is set up right now. So this automated email campaign, and I'm not an expert in MailChimp at all. I went in there once, figured it out, YouTube, set it up, and then I haven't touched it again. It does seem to be working. But again, your experience in this stuff will be helpful in trying to figure out if this is okay, this is not okay, what can we do better, all that stuff. So this is the email that they get sent. All right, and it just basically says, for the first one, thank you for your 5-star review and staying with us. Our goal is blah 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 blah. Pictures of all four right now. Eventually, pictures will become probably unsustainable. What I'd like to do is for people to see something that they recognize and go, "Oh yeah, that's right. We went to Cape Canaveral. I'd like that place, and I want to go do more of it." So this here will go to this, which is the Mellow Properties, Hospitable Rentals. This is the direct booking website through Hospitable, not what you had created as the Mellow Properties Vacation slash Rentals. And I can show you that. I'm sure it's been a while since you've seen Mellow Properties vacation rentals up here. Now these lead to this, so it's all kind of bouncing from one to the other. So, for example, if I click on, do I have to? Let me have to. Oh, here we go. This thing. That's another thing. If we can change this, it'd be good because most people want to click on a picture and they don't know that this is something that they have to click on, just like I did. And I don't go in here often, and new folks won't go in there at all. But something to think about. If we click on this is for Beach Club. It goes to the Beach Club Hospitable. So this is more of a general landing page for all of them. If I click on this, the site you just tried to visit looks fake, attack or something, mimics, go to Mellow Properties. If I can get rid of that, that'd be nice too, because most people, when they see stuff like that, they lose their minds. Uh, and from there, they go on this page, and they have to go to vacation rentals, and then from vacation rentals. So I mean, there's some stuff in here that if you can kind of see as I'm going through it. Um, Maybe frustrating when people are clicking on something, then going to something else, and clicking on something that takes 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 clicks for them to get to this page. If we can streamline that, that's a good thing. This is stuff I'm just kind of coming across right now as I'm doing the video. It's not even has anything to do with the notes that we put together. So, all right. So you saw the page that we created, the front page or the index page, if you want to call it that. Then the vacation rentals, we did this last year. This is the Mellow Properties Hospitable booking. This is the actual funnel where we want them to land on, so that this is where they're going to be with the direct booking, putting in their credit card. It's not really the Mellow Properties page, even though it leads there if you follow it well enough. This is where the credit cards come into play. So, all right. So that some inefficiencies in there that we can probably work on. The MailChimp, whether or not these campaigns and these pictures are good enough. Add us to your address book. I don't know, something to you look at, and then once we get you the ID and the password, you can go in there, look through these things. You may be more accustomed to MailChimp than I am. Like I said, I had a hard time just looking at that preview of that email, and I'm still right now going to have a hard time trying to find that. I'm not sure if that's going to do it. That's not going to do it. Either way, you know how to get in there, I'm sure. We can figure that out and take a look at what is being sent out to these people. And then there's a bunch of stuff on there that I'm definitely not looking at, like all these pie charts and monthly performance and whatever else is going on here. Looks like no one's clicking on any of this Facebook, Instagram, Twitter stuff, just the hospitable direct booking website. So if they're not going to click on any of this stuff, that's fine. This is, again, where the credit card goes in. That is the most important thing that they could click on. Somewhere on here, you can click on something, view email. That might be it. So this is email number 2 that goes out to them. Obviously, I tried to set it up so that it's not the same exact email. We appreciate you. Have a great day. We don't often get a chance to say, but we appreciate you. Please click on this and book a trip. So, all right. So that's enough of that. Back to, if I can find it, your page right here. Okay. So SEO, social media, paid advertising. You got the question on whether or not that's it up and above and beyond the 1250. Where it's going to be, how frequent it's going to be, is everything going to funnel and be dynamic enough at least so that they can get over to the direct booking page. Podcasts, again, I'm happy to do whatever. Let me know how that looks, how that's going to work. Email campaigns, that's the MailChimp that we just went through. All right. All the stuff, all good stuff. Absolutely developing. Yep, absolutely trying to get not away from Airbnb, but diversify a little bit more so that, again, if Airbnb dies tomorrow, 91% of our business doesn't die tomorrow. We want to be able to make sure that we can kind of leverage anything and everything that we've got so that we're not so dependent on one source of income. Improve automation platforms. Hospitable, MailChimp, we just went through, definitely improve that. Hospitable, there's going to be a component of those automatic messages that are going to tie, because that is kind of where we are interacting with these guests um, into MailChimp. StayFi, we have not gotten into yet. And if you don't remember what that is, it is a company where we have to pay them and secure a electronic device of some sort that blocks them from the Wi-Fi, believe it or not, as far as I understand it. Blocks them from the Wi-Fi, forces them to put their information in, and then, which means we're going to have to remove the Wi-Fi information from Hospitable at that point in time. Forces them to put their information in, and then at that point in time, they release the Wi-Fi to to them. So the good thing there is obviously we're getting their name, their email, their whatever. That goes into MailChimp, and then kind of fine tune and streamline that so that we hold on to them and keep marketing to them. Once we do get that in place, and I think we probably should get that into place, um, that whole message in Hospitable that says that you leave your email and we'll send you back a link and we'll get you on the direct booking. We probably don't need that anymore because we're going to be getting around that. They don't need to leave their email anymore. For them to get access to the Wi-Fi, they are going to have to do that, and they're going to automatically be included in that campaign. We may want to do some kind of something in there that says they agree to being marketed to, or something like that. Double confirmation, or something like that, so they don't go, so they don't complain that they're being marketed to. Something I want them to be able to understand and agree and want to be marketed to. Improve social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and all the rest of them, X, Pinterest. I'm not sure if those are all included or if you're going to just stick to these. You're going to need access to these so that you can post stuff. I saw something in here of 2 to 3 posts, static posts per week. I'm not sure if that is per channel or in total. We want to market enough to people, whether it be direct with the StayFi, MailChimp, direct to people that have already stayed and people on social media, so that we can get new people, and then maybe tie all that stuff in to each other so that the more streamlined, the better. The more automatic, the better. So if we can do stuff as intelligently as we can, the better. Better for you, better for us. Email campaigns, professionally rework emails. That's going to be the MailChimp, I'm assuming, unless you've got something else. Right now, we've got the free version of MailChimp, and as far as I can tell, it's working as far as popping from the number one email back to the number two, to the number three, to the number four email. And I assume it must. At the end of the number four email, the fourth email, it stops. So these people don't continue to get any of these emails. We can talk about that. Maybe we should be doing more than that, once a year, twice a year. I think I had in there some emails that I have to go in manually and put it in for the springtime, for Christmas, for this, for that, for the other thing. That's a problem in itself because I'm going to forget to do that stuff. If we can set that stuff up so that it sends something to these people every Christmas, um, the better, because we'll miss some of that and we'll lose the benefit of any of that stuff. Contact lists: there's names for people that are booking, the ones that we've captured. We'll do the best we can to recapture those names and emails, get those over to you so that we can kind of get the thing started, and then from there, hopefully, it'll start driving itself and filling up more of those names and emails. Contact list, New Hampshire. We'll have to talk a little bit more about the frequency that we are advertising. Are we going to advertise throughout the year, whether it's peak or not peak? Do we concentrate more on when it's not peak so we can fill those spots? Do we focus on when it is peak so that we can drive people that are there when they're most active into the season that is not as active. Obviously, the goal is to fill vacant dates. So um, the more we can fill those vacant dates, the fuller we can get that calendar. That is where the ROI is going to be coming from. Branding, that's not a problem. We can come up with some kind of fancy little name or something. That's no problem. We'll figure that out. Sign in book, selfie wall. We already have a sign in book, like a memory book that they sign in on, kind of say what they did or didn't like for the place. We've got some other stuff there. I forget exactly what we have there, but it's similar to that kind of idea. Selfie wall, we don't have. So if you can get some kind of tasteful artwork that they would want to take a picture of themselves in front of, that um, reminds them that where they were and how they did and what they enjoyed, what they didn't enjoy, and gives us maybe an ability to market them just with that. That sounds like a great idea. Professional photography, is that included or not included? Is that going to be an additional charge to the 1,250? I think we definitely do need better staged pictures. The trick there is trying to keep the place as close to the staged pictures as possible. We don't want to, go in one day and make the place look like an absolute unbelievable palace with decorations and everything else, and then when the guests get there, it doesn't quite look anywhere near what the pictures did. So, yes, we want a stage. Yes, we want professional photography, but then we also want to make sure that the best we can, that those pictures and the way we staged it and what's there represents what it is that they're seeing or getting when they get there. So, all good stuff. Showcase your local attractions around the property. That's good too. In the video, I'm not sure if that would be like just static pictures that are flashing on the screen. If when we're doing those videos, if we're going to do any drone video, um, so we can show the resorts and some of the locations out there. We'll have to talk more about that. So I don't want to blab on forever, and this has probably already been a bit too much. 1250 is what we're looking at. Let me know what you think about this. I'm going to go through the notes really quick, um, and then I'm going to leave it at that, and then we can continue the conversation more. All right, so the work that you're creating for, such as campaigns and the branding and the MailChimp and all that stuff, is that something that we are going to own? So, for example, if 3 months in or 6 months in or a year, we kind of determine that the ROI is just not there, it's not working for whatever reason, it's no one's fault, it's just not doing it. What is ours, what is not ours? We have to kind of discuss that. What happens to the data, the contact list? So obviously we're going to get you the information, right? And we have a concern as far as where does that information live? Where does it go? We want to touch people as much as we can, reach out to them as much as we can. But and you know this more than we do. What's the right amount? How much is too much where they get mad? How much is too little where they don't remember us? That I'm not even gonna. You can tell us how that works. Frequency of touch. That's what I just explained. TikTok. I assume that you're going to start and control that TikTok, like we had on that meeting. I do now Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, and Pinterest. More Facebook and others than some of these other ones. I don't want to add on any more of the social media stuff. It's just too much stuff to control and me focus or us focus on our business. So don't mind adding. I just need to know what you're going to take control of or have access to so that you can do your thing. Maybe we can both bang away at it and you do some stuff, I do some stuff. That's fine. Um, how do we start the video marketing? Is there additional cost? So we should talk about the video marketing, what that entails, what it looks like, and is that 1250? Is the video included in that 1250? What's the frequency of it? Do we do it? Hopefully not too often because that's going to be tough for both me and you. Um, When? Is it one video? Is it 10 videos? Is it 2 videos a year? Or is that kind of stuff we'll have to talk about just to make sure we understand what we're doing, how we're doing it. Can we fold? Oh, here's another thing that would add more value to the entire 1250. I know that we don't want to have two majorly separate businesses being marketed to the same people, but since the real estate brokerage and the Mellow Properties website right now kind of caters to the sales side and the vacation side of things, and they're somewhat related real estate, can we fold the brokerage into what we're doing here? That would add more value to us with that 1,250 if we can leverage both of those businesses, both of those real estate businesses, the sales brokerage stuff and then the vacation stuff. Probably since we're going to be, if we're going to end up using the Mellow Properties Facebook page, they're all going to be landing on that page anyway. So they're going to also see the sales side of things in addition to the vacation stuff. So let me know what you think of that, and then we can kind of go through some of those questions, and hopefully we'll get to the point where we know a little bit better what it is that we're doing, what's additional, what's not additional, and what it should look like as we start ramping it up. I assume that it's going to take you guys some time to implement things once we know what it is that we're implementing and how it's all going to go. And hopefully we can do that. I think we had talked about already that we will be able to get it up and running in under a month. I think it was. I could be wrong. A couple weeks or something like that. Everything will be up and running, and then from that point forward, we would start getting information, data as far as what is happening and what the results are. Tracking with pixels or whatever is going to be important so that we can track the ROI and what business came from where, and is it business that we wouldn't have had normally. That's the kind of stuff that we'll need to know and see so that we can have. That's the only way that I can think of that we'll be able to identify whether or not what we're doing here is something that is generating money that we wouldn't have normally had. All right. Long video. Sorry, and if you could kind of talk back on that stuff, I can try to send an email and bullet some of this stuff so that you can probably respond back that way. I want to do the video because if I were to put everything in that many words in an email, it would have been a 200-page email. So, all right, hope you're having a good day. See ya.